time, yeah, tootsie time, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to TOOTSIETV, and today I'm going to be doing a story time. This story is about the time I had to break into this chick's house. Like, I had to do it. You guys are going to understand why I had to do it, but I just had to do it. So the chick in question was actually my best friend at the time. Now, we weren't best friends when this happened, but she was my best friend at the time. This is the same girl that put her shit on my walls. So if you guys haven't seen the story time about my best friend painting her shit on my walls, you need to go and watch that after this one, because I've got a lot of drama with this girl, okay? Okay, so let's just call this girl Karen, okay? So Karen and I were supposed to be doing something joint together as best friends, and we used to do things like this all the time, and we would wear the same outfits. I used to customize and make clothes back in the day, so I would like make varsity jackets, I would make shirts and things like that, and I would make us both one so we can both match, and that is what we used to do. So we had something coming up, and I made us 2 jackets that looked the same. I made us matching jackets, and I gave her the matching jacket. Now, I don't know what happened. I really can't remember why, but we fought. We fought about something, and we had a big argument, and what we had planned was not about to happen. I'm like, bitch, you ain't about to flippin' talk to me any way you want. So what we had planned to do wasn't gonna end up happening because we had a fight. We argued. I can't remember what we argued about because we used to argue all the time. So when we argued, I was like, give me my jacket back. Give me the belt back that I lent you. I want my stuff back. She didn't want to give them back. She was getting rude, saying, I'll give them back when I'm ready. I'm not giving them back. I need them. I'm like, okay, first of all, bitch, we are arguing right now. What we had planned, we are not about to do, so give me my jacket. I spent my time and I sat there and I sewed that jacket up and I customized that jacket. That's my jacket. Give me my jacket back. So she wasn't trying to give me my jacket. She was trying to talk all this shit on the phone. So I'm just thinking, cool, it is where it is. I know where you live. Like, where are you going? So I would say about a few days later, without no contact, I went to Karen's house. I'm like, I'm gonna go to Karen's house. I'm gonna pop up. I know what she does usually during the day. I know she's usually free, so she's probably home right now, and I'm gonna demand my jacket on the doorstep. That's what I decided I was gonna do. So I go to Karen's house, and as I turn the road onto her street where she lives, I see her in her mother's car. And then she sees me, obviously, because she tells her mom to stop the car. And then she rolls down the window. She's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I come to pick up my jacket and my belt. She's like, well, I'm leaving the house. I'm like, you're literally like 2 seconds away from your house. Your house is right here. Like, you live in this building. You're right next to your building. You can just easily go inside and get my jacket. She goes, no, I'm leaving. And then she tells her mom to drive. So you just told your mom to drive off, knowing you are literally right next to your building. And we didn't live next to each other. We didn't live walking distance. I had to get 2 buses to get to her house. So I took 2 buses. You know where I live. So you know I took 2 buses to come all the way to your house, and you was literally right there, and you decided not to just jump out the car and give me my jacket. So I thought, cool, okay, bitch. So what did I do? I walked right over to that apartment building. She lived in an apartment building, but it was like outside. So it's like each floor had a balcony, but it was an outside kind of, it was basically like an outside kind of apartment building. It wasn't like an inside one where you go in a lobby and then you go up the elevator and things like that. It was literally like an outside. How can I explain them? If I can find a picture, I'll insert a picture of like the kind of building it was. So there was a bunch of kids outside in the front playing. There was a park downstairs of the like apartment building. So there's a bunch of kids playing, and I was just like hanging around. I was probably looking all types of creepy, hanging around a bunch of kids. I was just waiting for someone to go back in so I can get through the bottom door. So eventually a child came out. As soon as that child came out, grabbed the door, I walked in, and I walked all the way up to the 4th floor where she lived. So I get to the 4th floor. I actually didn't have a plan at this point. I didn't know what I was planning to do when I got to the 4th floor, because clearly the door's gonna be locked. Clearly, I don't know. I don't know if I thought I was just gonna sit there and wait for her to come home and be like, surprise bitch, I'm on your doorstep, let me in. Like, I don't know what my plan was. I just knew that I was going up to her house. So I get to her house, and then I'm looking around. I look through her bedroom window, because her bedroom window was right at the front. I looked through the bedroom window to see if, like, I don't know, my jacket was just like laying on the bed or something stupid like that. So I was trying to look through, see if anyone was home. I was like, is anyone home? I knocked the door a couple times to see if anybody was home, because if anyone was in that house, I would have said to them, listen, Karen has my jacket in her room, I need to go and get it. But I knocked about 5 times, nobody came to the door, so I'm like, okay, nobody's home. To my surprise, I look to the left. What do I see? I see her bathroom window open. Now, this ain't no regular window where if you leave it open, burglars can come and rob you. This was one of them tiny, small windows that only opens to a certain degree. It isn't no window that you would be like, oh, you're so dumb, why would you leave your window open? It's like a window that you could leave open because it doesn't open past a certain space, and it's very, very small. It's that kind of window. And besides the point anyway, downstairs is locked unless you have a key or a fob, whatever, you can't get in. So I'm thinking, okay, that window's open, but there's no way I could fit in there. Like, it's one of those windows, it's just like, it just opens to give air. It doesn't actually open for anything else but to let in a little breeze. I'm thinking at this point, I was standing there for like 10 minutes. I'm thinking, do you know, what am I actually gonna do? I don't know where her and her mother have gone. I don't know how long it's gonna take them to get back. Am I gonna be sitting here all day? Like, I don't know. I was like, as I was standing there outside of her house, I was just getting more and more pissed, thinking this bitch really left me right there by her house, and she drove off in this car knowing she could have just got my jacket. She's really taking a piss. She's taking me for a mug. I don't know who she thinks she is, and she's gonna know not to fuck with me. So I thought, you know what? I'm skinny. I was skinny at the time. I was like, I'm skinny, girl. Maybe I can squeeze through here. I actually called my mum on the phone because my mum knew everything that was happening. And I was on the phone to her. I was like, there's this little window. Like, it's going to be really hard to get in. And it's really high up too. I have nothing to climb on. Like, but I told my mum what happened. How she basically just drove off and she left me there. My mum was on the phone. She was like, yeah, go through the window, get your things then back, get your things. So I'm thinking, okay, my mum's amping me up. She's amping me up. I'm like, do you know what? I am gonna get my things. I was like, Mum, I'll call you back. I was like, if I don't call you back in 10 minutes, maybe something went wrong. So if I don't call you back in 10 minutes, call me. She's like, cool. So I hung up the phone. I was like, I'm gonna get in this damn window. The window was pretty high. If I was standing next to it, the window was probably up to here on me. So I'm thinking, how am I gonna get up here? And the window's already skinny, but somehow I had to make it work. So what I did was I held onto her there's like a little part of the wall by the door that comes out. It kind of like comes out 3D. So I was able to grip the side of the door like that. As I gripped the side of the door like that, I lifted my hand onto the window because it has like one of those handles. The window had a handle on the inside. So I held the handle on the inside to lift myself up in the side of the door. Once I lifted myself up, I quickly jumped up onto the ledge of the window with one of my feet. Once I got one foot up, I grabbed the other hand, swung that from the door and onto the handle on the inside. So right now I'm holding onto the handle with 2 hands and I've got 1 foot up. Then I dragged myself and I got the other foot up. So now I'm kind of just crouching on the window ledge, holding onto the handle like that. So I'm thinking, okay, so how am I gonna get my body in here now? I just done it 1 leg at a time. I slithered 1 leg in, 1 leg fit. I'm thinking, okay, this might be working. I tried to slide over to the side. Then all of a sudden my crutch area literally just banged on the window ledge and it hurt so bad. I can't even front. But I was like, do you know what? 1 leg is already in. One of my legs was actually all the way in her bathroom and I can feel it resting on the top of the toilet. So I'm like, do you know what? I can do this. You know, I can do this. So then I start to lift myself up off of my crutch. I push my chest past. It was so tight, you guys. I'm telling you, it was the tightest thing ever. I had all scrapes all over my back. I was sweating. My neck was getting all scraped up. My arm was being bent all in different directions. It really did hurt. But eventually I got in, and when I got in, I kind of fell in the toilet. So one of my feet kind of like accidentally fell in the toilet, but it didn't go all the way down. I caught myself real quick, and there was a bunch of stuff in the bathroom, like bath soaps and random shit and just like a bunch of mess that I kicked all everywhere over the floor, and loads of things fell in the toilet and all of that sort of stuff. So when I got in the house, I'm like, I'm in the house. I went straight to her room, and best believe my jacket and my belt was just laid out plain sight. It was just nice there, comfortable, chilling in this new house. So I'm like, oh, thanks, you made this easy for me. Grabbed my jacket, grabbed my belt, and then I even grabbed a couple other things I had bought her for gifts, like on birthdays and things. I saw like this other thing I had bought her. I picked that up real quick. I was like, you know, you don't deserve me to give you any gifts. You ain't no best friend of mine. So I got all of that, got a little plastic bag from her kitchen and put them all inside, and I thought, now I'm gonna bounce. Now I did think I should have cleaned up the mess in the bathroom because I made mess kicking everything down, breaking in. But I was like, do you know what, fuck that. Like, you and your mom sat there and looked at me, and like, even your mom could have just been like, give her back her stuff. But no, she was clearly not even trying to help me out either. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave this stuff right here. I opened the front door and I left, and then I closed the front door, and that is what I done. I closed the window up a little bit from the outside, make sure it was closed the way it was, left open just like a little tiny piece, and then I just went on my day. I went back home, and then I showed my mom, got my stuff, and then I was having a nice little kiki about it. Now, of course, we wait until later on in the evening, and I get a call from Karen. So Karen wants to call me. She's like, oh, so I see you came and you got your jacket. I'm like, yeah, you're damn right. I told you I wanted my jacket. You didn't want to give it to me, so I got it myself. She's like, okay. She goes, you left like mess everywhere. My mom was pissed off. I was like, okay. And you know what the funniest thing? You know what she said to me about the whole situation? She goes, you know what? I respect you. Because that's some shit I would have done. And then that just made me laugh, because I'm just thinking, like, this is why we're actually friends, because we both do crazy random stuff like that. And she wasn't actually mad. She wasn't as mad as I thought she was gonna be. And we did end up becoming friends, like, later on after that. The next day, where we actually had what we had planned, we ended up going through with what we had planned, and I ended up coming back and giving her the jacket to wear for what we had planned. So it was kind of pointless. But I had a point to prove. Like, don't mug me. No one is gonna freaking just tell me that, no, I can't give you your stuff when I'm standing right here and they're standing right there. Like, no, you're not gonna mug me. I will get what I want. Like, that is one thing about me. I will get what I want, whether you like it or not. And no, I am not friends with this girl anymore today for completely different reasons. But I hope you guys enjoyed that story about the time I had to break into this chick's house, okay? Don't phone me. Hope you guys like the story. Give it a big thumbs up if you want more story times, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Yeah, she's got that good stuff. That's Tootsie time, bro, yeah. Comment and like the vid. Subscribe if you wanna. Yeah, she's got that good stuff. That's Tootsie time, bro, yeah. Tootsie time, bro, yeah. Tootsie time, bro, yeah.